Today we're answering the toughest question every CTO and SaaS founder asks. What is the best tech stack for your SaaS? Most founders think there's a magical combination of trendy frameworks that guarantees success. But here's the truth. Specific tech stack you choose doesn't matter as much as you actually think. In fact, going for the most boring, well-known tech might be your smartest decision yet. What really matters is whether your stack covers these 7 critical principles. Skip any one of them, and you're setting your startup up for headaches down the road. In this video, I'm going to walk you step by step through exactly what these principles are, how to cover them with practical examples, and by the end, you will see the exact tech stack we recommend and actually use ourselves. Principle 1. Speed to validate value. Speed is your greatest competitive advantage as an early stage startup. You must deliver value to your users quickly, validate idea, and avoid wasting valuable resources. Select tools and services that eliminate unnecessary complexity and boilerplate code. For instance, using front-end frameworks like Node.js, Svelte, combined with deployment services like Vercel, enables rapid iterations and immediate feedback loops. Backend solutions such as Firebase or Supabase are ideal because they significantly reduce your initial setup time, allowing you to focus on your product rather than your infrastructure. However, you must be cautious with choosing such backend services, as usually they help you start quickly, but it's not ideal for every SaaS platform. Principle 2. Optionality over time. As your SaaS evolves, your business needs and infrastructure will inevitably change. Ensuring your tech stack can adapt seamlessly is critical. Infrastructure as code like Terraform or AWS CDK empowers you to swiftly shift your applications across different cloud providers, avoiding the vendor lock-in and costly rewrites. Choosing frameworks that are cloud agnostic ensures you can pivot your infrastructure strategy as your business conditions or technology trends shift, providing you a peace of mind and long-term flexibility. Optionality is great, but how easy can your team actually use the tech you have chosen? Principle 3. Leverage scarce talent. In the early stages, your most limited and costly resource is skilled talent. Leveraging technologies that your current team is comfortable with or can easily acquire greatly reduces onboarding and operational friction. Popular languages and platforms like JavaScript, Python, Node.js, and Go offer extensive community support, vast libraries, plenty of documentation. This means fewer headaches, faster debugging, and quicker hiring cycles, saving you both time and money. Talent matters, but let's tackle another major concern. What happens to your costs when your app starts scaling? Principle 4. Economic scalability. Economic scalability is not just about technical scaling. It's about cost effectiveness at each growth stage. Initially, using free tier or serverless platforms such as Firebase or AWS Lambda can seem ideal, but be mindful for future scaling costs. Serverless platforms offer the ability to scale quickly, but may become expensive at high usage levels. Strategically combining fixed costs, managed services, and usage-based services will allow predictable expenses of your SaaS and when it grows. Costs under control. Great. Are you secure enough to avoid a startup killing breach? Principle 5. Risk and trust surface. Trust and security should never be compromised, especially if your SaaS environment handles sensitive data. Prioritize established, reliable technologies with proven track records. For payments integrations, for example, with platforms like Stripe, immediately elevates trust levels with your customers. For authentication, rely on robust services, ensuring you meet compliances and secure requirements without the heavy investments or dedicated security team upfront. Trust is critical, but how quickly can your developers actually ship secure, reliable updates? Principle 6. Continuous delivery velocity. Deploying frequently and safely is foundational for any successful SaaS. Adopting continuous integration and continuous delivery practices through infrastructure as code dramatically reduces errors, downtime, and manual overhead. For example, implementing AWS CDK or Terraform allows you to set up automated pipelines that deploy changes swiftly, ensuring zero downtime and minimal risk. Our experience with AWS CDK has repeatedly demonstrated significant developer productivity gains and streamlined operations. Rapid deployments are excellent, but does your stack help you truly stand out from the crowd? Principle 7. Outstanding capabilities. Your SaaS needs a competitive edge, a unique capability that sets you apart in a crowded market. Choose technology that easily integrates with APIs and external services, allowing your core features to interact seamlessly with other applications and services. A powerful approach is using a headless CMS like Strapi, combined with serverless functions like AWS Lambda, to build highly customizable, scalable, and specialized functionalities like AI processing or complex analytics. This ensures your tech stack directly supports and enhances your competitive advantage. And now I'm going to show you the technical stack that we use that covers these principles. Here we have separated the technical stack into a couple of layers. We are starting with the presentation layer. In almost all of the cases, we utilize Next.js. Next.js has a vast community, it's a well-established platform, and has very important features that you can utilize in your SaaS platform. Then, in most cases, we use Vercel just for the ease of use of integrating with Next.js and their deployment abilities. On the user interface layer, we use Tailwind, Shatsin UI, and our own design system. However, you don't need to have your own design system because there's a lot of templates and also design systems that you can download or purchase from the internet. However, with this presentation layer, we are covering all of the principles that we just shared, especially the principle of being able to lift and shift your application based on your hosting needs. Yes, Next.js is very tightly coupled with Vercel and it's very easy to integrate. However, since Next.js is an open source platform, we can host it anywhere we want. Moving down the line, before we move towards the database and infra and your resources, we have something called the API layer. We believe it's very important for your SaaS platform to work via an API layer because we believe we're entering the API era. What that means is that more and more AI chatbots and AI tools, LLMs, are utilizing APIs to make interactions with platforms. So future-proofing your platform to have an easy-to-use API exposure will help you potentially pivot or add new features where LLMs and chatbots can connect and do operations on your platform. For the API layer, we have chosen Strapi, which is a headless CMS, which allows to set up a lot of the boilerplate code that you need and processes to have such an API layer. It also introduces a lot of best practices just by using the framework. You can see one of our previous videos of how we're utilizing Strapi in our projects in more details. So using the Strapi layer, this is the communication between the front end and your database and infra. For database, we keep it very straightforward. We have a Postgres database, and usually it's hosted either on AWS or Google Cloud. However, in cases that we need to have a NoSQL database, both of these providers provide a very easy to use setup of using such a NoSQL database. Then for payments, we usually use either Stripe or Molly because they're one of the most established ones and also have a very friendly integration guides. All of the things are orchestrated through infrastructure as code in CI/CD pipeline in order to make seamless deployments within all of the layers that we just shared. That way, using this technical stack allows us to have a lot of speed in development because we can use ready design system components. We have Strapi that very easily creates APIs. We have optionality over time, principle number 2, because we can move all of this architecture or this technical stack to any infra or hosting provider. Since we're using such an established platforms, they're very popular and also the languages that they use are very common. With the principle number 4 of economic scalability, your platform can grow based on your needs. You can host it on one server or you can host it on multiple servers based on the usage that you have. That way, you are paying only for the usage and for the traffic that you are having. Then with principle number 5, risk and security, all of these platforms, again, because of their big communities and usage, have a very well established security practices and also testing. And as I mentioned, with principle 6 of continuous deployment, everything through the infra is managed through infrastructure as code and CI/CD pipeline. That way we can have very rapid deployments. And finally, with the outstanding capabilities, as mentioned, we have our API layer potentially future-proofing us for the era of APIs where AI can code these APIs. And also we have the ability to expand further if we need to run some specialized process and functions that can run on serverless functions with one of the cloud providers. Choosing your tech stack doesn't have to be paralysis by analysis. Cover these 7 principles and pick the tech you know and trust. If you'd like a personalized guidance or need help exploring your SaaS ideas, our team at Codelevate is here to help you. Thanks for watching and see you next time.